What is happening, y'all? Welcome back to 3-Star Draw. I'm Down South 77. This here is an adult collector channel where we talk G.I. Joe, mainly classified, but every now and then we'll take a look at some other stuff I am interested in as well. That is what we're going to do today because I got in a figure that I have been waiting quite a long time for. Very excited for this figure, and let's go ahead and jump right into it. This is Maxillius the Harvester from Four Horsemen Studios, Mythic Legions. We'll take a closer look at that in just a second. So I've really been looking forward to getting this guy for a long time and had a little bit of delay getting him from where I ordered him from. I didn't order him from Horseman, but finally got him in, and it's driving me nuts with him just sitting here. I got to get this guy out and check him out. Got on my special skull shirt, my skelly shirt, because he is, of course, death, and I have a weird fascination with the personification of death, the Grim Reaper. I collect Grim Reaper stuff. I've always been into it, so when I saw they were making this guy, I had to get him because he is literally death. He is a figure of death, and we've had some over the years. Hadn't had some great ones that were classic, you know, Grim Reaper that we think of. So this is pretty much what this guy is in our world and in the world of Mythic Legion's mythos. I'm really excited to get this dude out. So without further ado, let's check out Maxillius here. Take a look at the packaging here. I'll get this other ring light on in just a second. Just show him off. Not a whole lot to it. Back here, if you want to pause that, there is kind of the history of what's going on in the mythology there of Mythic Legions. And here is Maxillius's bio, I guess you would say, his file card, so to speak, if you want to read that. So, got that. Now, let's get him out. Of course, we do have our Mythic Legions collector-friendly card back that slides out with the tab there. All of his stuff there in a bag, and of course you do have some little zippy ties here that they like to use, so angled snips. Make sure you have your angled snips, ladies and gentlemen. Get him out right there. It's what you're going to get. Some silica gel if anybody collects that stuff. Don't eat that stuff. Alright, go ahead and get him all the way out now. All of his accessories out there, and I do have some friends back here for him for his big reveal party at Tibius, and well, you see who's back there. So Scaphoid and the Skeleton Legion Builder 2.0, which, if I'm not mistaken, is this buck. That is what these Necronominous Wave figures are built on. So that means he should be super posable. So I got this guy back here running point. He's over here watching the side, making sure nobody sneaks up. So, alright, let's go ahead and get into Mr. Maxillius. So this is his chest piece that he comes with, which you can hang over his neck. Of course, made of bone and metal. It's kind of like it's like a dream catcher. This thing actually looks like it's made out of real bone. The wash and everything that is on this, and then of course on the back side you have all these pieces here. And real thin. Actually, they move around a bit. Actually looks like bone. I mean, this detail on these things is just so incredible. So this is his necklace, I guess, talisman. It's got a little skull there at the top of it. Of course, rib bones, and I mean, you can actually kind of tell what kind of bones these things are made out of. And this piece actually, no, I thought that piece actually moved. It's always fun with these Mythic Legions trying to figure them out, figure out how they go, what's what. So somebody that collects a lot of them, probably not an issue, but for somebody like me that just picks a few up every now and then, it's always a challenge trying to review one of these figures. And then you do have one of the most awesome things ever. You have the pointing hands, beckoning hands, if you will, which this guy definitely needs since he is death and going to be beckoning someone to come with him. He does have his regular skull face. We've seen this skull a few times. I do believe does not have the movable jaw on this one, but just as always, just the awesome detail with the wash. I mean, it looks like it's Skull Man. Does have his hourglass. Your time is running out. Now, I thought this actually had sand in it. It does not. How awesome would that have been? But you can see the lens in this, or the lens, the glass, where it's just, it's translucent, but it has that magnifying look like actual glass does. Is amazing. So you got your brass on the top here, nice sculpt there, a little design going around like a sunburst or whatnot. Of course, you got your handle here, does look like weathered metal and brass handle on top. You got your 4 posts going around with like a bronze up here, and then a silver, bronze on your post that's holding the glass in, and then you got a flat bottom that is also bronze colored. This thing just looks great, and you know you can't have a death figure, a Grim Reaper figure, without having an hourglass to tell you how much time you have left. I'm doing my best not to call him the Grim Reaper. It's really hard because that's basically what he is. Then you have his scythe, however you would like to pronounce it. Awesome reaping blade here. You got your brass on the top holding it together. A couple different washes on the blade. It's got some nicks in it where he's mowed down some people and hit some armor. Maybe somebody's drawn a sword to try to fend him off. Different on each side as far as your paint apps. And it actually, I mean, it looks like this thing is molded together. It looks like it is, you can see the joint there where the part that holds the blade is attached. As always, I mean, you're not going to get better detail and paint anywhere than you are with these guys. And of course, he's got the curved wooden handle for it. This looks really, really fantastic. Whittled down to a point at the end, and of course you got your metallic handle for him to hold on to as he's swinging. So let's take a look at the man himself. Does have the soft good robe. Let's see, make sure I got my camera in a good enough spot so I can check this guy out. I need to angle it down just a little bit. Okay, that's going to be good enough. So you do have your soft goods robe. You have your tie going around it where it's cinched together. Of course, got his hood. Then he does have this back piece here that is wings. It's this bone, almost like a metallic dream catcher shape. Over here you've got, looks like half of obviously a creature skull, perhaps one of the other creatures, the other races or whatever that are in Mythic Legions. Maybe it's a troll or something, I don't know. Then you get these bones here going all the way up, this nice metallic ring, and you got these really awesome feathered red wings, this black paint wash on them. So obviously these are his wings, Angel of Death wings, go all the way up into the top. And then you got this really funky back here, looks like just gore where all this is attached. Like those are not wings there, that looks like meat. And then it just wraps over and starts turning into wings. Looks like they might have missed a little paint right there in that corner. Might have missed the wash in that corner. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. It just looks like that may have happened. So this should be a backpack type piece for him. Pops off. I'm really glad it was. So there's his pegs. You can get a good look at them from the inside. So this is going to really want to kind of go down over him and push him in. So this piece has got some weight to it. This is not a little like dinky piece, man. This is a pretty hefty piece there. So I'll take that off of him because I do want to see what he looks like just bare bones underneath. And of course, always be careful when you move these guys around for the first time and break them loose. There is a little pamphlet in the box for them that will warn you of that. So I didn't realize that. The sleeves of his robe actually have bendy wire in them. Bottom does not. So he does have this awesome head with the eyes that are bone. I mean, they're grown in, so you see the difference in the eyes. It just does something to the face. Just so much more sinister, like he never had eyes. And then this is a little bit different skull on the top. And even in the back, you can see. So this one has these ridges here. Your basic skull does not. I wasn't thinking I was going to like this head, but man, it really looks cool. It just looks even more sinister. So you do have your tattered robe here at the bottom. And let's go ahead and see. I will never get this tied back again if I untie it all the way. Ever in this. It looks like a slip knot. So I'm going to see if we can just drop that off of him rather than undoing it all together. Would have been quicker undoing it all together, but it would not be quicker for me to try to get it back on him. So, let's see if he's all gross and Night of the Living Dead under there. The robe does come off. I just don't really personally have any reason to take the robe all the way off of him. I will never display him without the robe on him. And I know these robes and these capes and things can be kind of hard to get back on these guys, but I do want to just compare him to the Skeleton Builder 2.0. I may regret taking this off. Alright, there we go. I'm definitely going to regret taking that off of him. So let's compare the two. That is going to be the same body, just a different wash. This is more of a bone. So this is the same buck. Looks like everything is the same as it is for this guy, which is absolutely great news. This really is one of the best figures in my collection. If you watched my Figures of the Year video for last year, this was my favorite figure of all of 2024. So let's check that out. Give him Maxillius's wings. So they just port right in there because obviously same. So that's what I wanted to see. He is the same buck. So let's go ahead and now actually while we have this hand on him, let's work our joints around, make sure everything is good and loose. So no issues there with any of our articulation. And you do have this cut up here where he pops together. These Mythic Legions are meant to be popped and swapped around. I do not personally do much of it. Actually, I don't do any of it with Mythic Legions. I buy them because I like them for what they are. So again, if you've got a lot of resistance there, be careful with it. I know where to stop. So nice tight joints on this guy. So all right, so let's check him out. See if we can get him to swing this. The hands on these guys are really tight too, so. Sometimes it's kind of challenging getting these really longer weapons on some of these guys. So there he is swinging his Sith, coming to cut you down. Sooner or later, Maxillius is going to cut you down. I knew sooner or later I was going to say Maximilian. All right, check out this head on him. It fits on there super tight. All right, so there we go. Got your base skeleton head on this guy. Let's go ahead and throw this on. Just doesn't have the same effect on him as bare bones, does it? I have a feeling I'm probably going to have to pause it while I put the cloak back on him, because I have a feeling that's going to be a bit of a challenge. Let's see what he looks like. Ooh, that hand is super, super tight. See if we can do this without having to heat up the hand and without breaking the handle on this hourglass, because I'm more worried about that than the hand. There we go. A lot of downtime in this one, sorry. A lot of pauses. Have to kind of concentrate when you do these guys if you have not opened a ton of them. So there is all of his accessories and different heads and all of that kind of stuff. So I am actually going to pause it because I know it's going to take me a minute to get that cloak back on. So let me gear him back up and then we'll take a look at him with his accessories. Well, that was like dressing a child. I could not have been a chick with dolls. I'd have never, my dolls would have been naked. It wasn't too bad. I tell you, I wish they did run a wire somewhere through this hood, because once you've taken off his hood and you put it back on, it's kind of pointy. And I do have him lined up. You can tell where the robe is supposed to be because you got the holes in there. So I do wish I could lay that down. I could probably wet it and hold it down, and it would probably lay down where I want it to. So let's go ahead and check him out with this on him. Man, I really dig the bone. I don't even know what you call it. Necklace, medallion. So he's just walking along with this, swinging along. Hard to get it straight though. Kind of hits here on his arm, and I don't want to push it down because this is actual metal here on this, so I don't want to hit it and make it to where it's pushing down and breaks or something. I don't think it will, but I don't want to take any chances either. So do the sleeves where they're kind of hanging down there. Because you're going to want to bunch them up a little bit. So his arms are just a little too long, it seems like, on those. So let's see what we can do about getting him to hold his Sith where he is swinging it. Just swinging, Swinging, coming to reap your souls. You think Maxillius listens to much John Anderson? So that's not right. Pretzel's in their other room. Pretzel listens to John Anderson. Oh, that spins. Oh, well, that's good to know. Can't even get all of this guy in the frame, but that's not supposed to bow, is it? Why do I feel like this whole thing just... Okay, so it changes when you spin it around, so that's kind of... I guess that's so you can hold it. And look like it's coming from just about any angle, and that's how... That is how you would do that. So that's what you're getting with him swinging, is like that, and then you kind of rotate the blade. So there we go. I can't even get all of this guy in the frame with this Sith. So I am digging him. He was definitely worth the wait. I don't know if I'll display him with this on him or not. I'm not sure. Throw his wings and all back on him, see what it looks like all put together. Try to line these up. It's always fun trying to line these holes up for these guys for the backpacks or wings or whatever they have. Not necessarily backpacks, I guess. So you do that, you want to angle that out like that's flowing in the wind, and that one's going to be kind of drooping. So there we go. So yeah, I guess that's... How would you... That don't look right. This hand needs to be this way, right? Alright, well, you get the idea. I'm not going to sit here and get the angle just completely perfect. So you get the idea. He swings the Sith. Or scythe, depending on where you grew up. Went and knocked off his wings. And you got to worry about when you put these on with these guys, if they've got soft goods, catching the soft goods when you plug them in, when you plug the stuff back in, because if you catch like part of the robe, you know, it's not going to seat in there just right. That does make him pretty heavy. Let's throw on a beckoning hand. There we go. So, he is telling you that he's coming for you. And he's going to add you to his collection of bones on his, whatever we're calling that, medallion. I don't know what else to call it. So I'm going to call it a medallion. So if we get that in there again. Hey, all right. Did it twice. So there we go. Got him beckoning to you that your time is almost up. those are going to get on my nerves. I will probably not be using those. As awesome as they look, I feel like those are going to get knocked off really easily. I did not have the robe bunched around it that time. Get his feet there. There we go. So he is a little harder to pose than this guy, as awesome a poses as you can get him in, just because he's got accessories. So this guy's just bare bones. He's got a shield, he got a sword, and no weight, like nothing that plugs on him or anything. So I'm going to try to give this a go again. There you go. He's beckoning to you. He's coming to get you, Barbara, with this pointy hood. There we go. So, stand up. It's your time to shine, Maxillius. You gotta stand for it. You gotta stand for it. His feet are going. Seems like one of the ankles. I feel like the ankles are not as strong on this guy as they are on the Legion Builder 2.0. All right, try this again. I'm going to have to work on the way he holds this. I do really dig it, and it does come apart. That's good to know. I do really dig this, and it's just going to take a little work on the hands, getting the angles right and stuff on the hands. So anyway, Maxillius the Harvester, there he is. I do really like him. I'm just going to have to mess around with him, get a little more used to swapping accessories and stuff around. This has been a really long, crazy review here, but Mythic Legions, man, if you don't review them or whatever all the time, you just never know what you're going to wind up getting into with them. So I really like this guy. I do recommend picking him up if you find him. If you're a fan of Grim Reaper stuff, death mythology stuff, you're going to want this guy on your shelf. You don't need to know anything about any of the other legions or anything. You will definitely have a place for this guy on the shelf. All right, guys, I appreciate you sticking around for all of this. If you did, maybe the next one will go a little quicker. Probably not if it's a legion. I will see you guys next time on 3-Star Draw.